Rep. Tim Burchett basically went on the Matt Gaetz show and said that NASA has been lying when they say that they have no evidence of UFOs, and we're going to watch some of that. We're also going to watch the NASA acting administrator. He's been on a few podcasts in the past few weeks where he's basically said, Trump's announcing that they're going to release all this UFO info, but NASA, we don't have anything. So here you have a congressman saying that NASA's lying, and not just that they're lying, but that he's been in meetings with them where they've expressed to him that they investigate this stuff and they have classified information. So basically a big old shit show clusterfuck.
Goes on within these departments. Just the lying that goes on within these departments, NASA saying, well, we don't have anything. We haven't studied this or whatever. And I've been in meetings with them where they've told me they've studied it. And so, and they have stuff that's classified that they can't share with the public. And so, yeah, I think it's a big cover up. I think there's too many directions that it's going. I spoke to the president about it the other morning, a little bit about it, about, just being forthcoming and bringing the stuff out. And the problem is that you've got this arrogance within government. These people are so above the law on everything that they think that we're not fit to handle it. Our colleague from down in Florida, Moskowitz, he asked the question, he said, I don't think the government has the right to tell me what I cannot be afraid of. And so, yeah, but I'm very much afraid of these.
How did President Trump react to your urging?
I don't think he, I don't want to say he didn't grasp the humongousness of it or whatever you want to call it, but I think he was on a lot of other things at that time, Matt. I think we've got to get him close and we got to have a 5-minute conversation with him and just have the questions that he needs to ask. Because when I was in a meeting this year and I was told that the president was on a need to know basis on some of this information, I thought, man, y'all don't know Donald Trump like I know him, and a few of us know him, because that's not going to sit well with him. Yeah. And I told him that. He goes, what does that mean?
Yeah, so let's turn that part back again about the NASA lying.
Just the lying that goes on within these departments, NASA saying, well, we don't have anything. We haven't studied this or whatever. And I've been in meetings with them where they've told me they've studied it. And so, and they have stuff that's classified that they can't share with the public. And so, yeah, I think it's a big cover up. I think there's too many.
So, yeah, NASA's lying, says Rep. Burchett. Now, this is in the past 2 weeks.
We're conducting this interview.
This is, what's his name? Jared Isaacman, I believe. And remember when we covered this a few weeks ago, a lot of you guys were trolling his ears. And now I can't focus on anything but his ears. And if you weren't focusing on that before, now you will, because I said that. I apologize. But here he is. And also, look at this freeze frame of Homeboy. I'm sorry. Okay.
18 hours after President Trump, who you've praised repeatedly in this conversation, said that he was planning to declassify material related to UFOs, what gets called UAPs now. He described it as something like...
Oh, remember, too, when we were watching this, he got all fidgety during this part, too. He doesn't want to get McCaslin, bro. Got all fidgety.
Classify material related to UFOs, what gets called UAPs now. He described it as something like a very complex and interesting
topic. Look at that. How many we're all becoming behavior body experts now. We got
what gets called UAPs
hands
now. He described it as something like a very complex and interesting topic.
That shit, bro.
Does NASA have anything to declassify that would be of interest to viewers of this program?
Looking down.
I'm not aware of anything that we would have at NASA to declassify, other than say that I'm as interested in, the president's message is.
Look at the guy. We're 10 seconds into the statement.
Probably now any other space enthusiast out there.
He only looked at him for like a half second too. Look at that.
Classify, other than say that of anything that we would have at NASA to declassify, other than say that I'm as interested in, the president's message is probably any other space enthusiast out there. Now, I will say, having, I spent 10 years leading a defense contracting company. We operated fighter.
Why can he only look at him at like millisecond increments? He's like, I'm telling you guys,
jets all across the country, simulating, bad guy capabilities. Say, look, there are a lot of, as you would expect, exquisite capabilities that we have as a nation for national security purposes.
Look at, like we said last time, this motherfucker's just like, look at me, bitch. He's not looking away. He's locked in. He's you know what I mean? And the other guy's just looking away.
Purposes that we have developed. All we have to do is look to the history books, right? SR-71 was a pretty wild capability in the 1960s. Nobody would have imagined that. F-117 was pretty wild. So do I think that there are probably capabilities we have as a nation that we developed and our adversaries that can do some pretty impressive things, sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were.
Okay. Here's another one that he just did like a few days ago.
President Trump authorized the declassification of several records, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Oh, look at touches his face. Look at we're analyzing his body language. Touches it even from the behind. We can see the body language
of several records, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs, extraterrestrial life. Look, you've got access to all kinds of classified information. Do you believe that there is life outside of Earth?
I would say, and this has absolutely nothing to do with classified information, as a lifelong space enthusiast since kindergarten, having been to space twice as an astronaut, it is hard not to imagine that somewhere out there across 2 trillion galaxies and however many star systems inside them with however many exoplanets and Goldilocks zones, yes, I have to believe that there is life out there somewhere. Do I believe intelligent life has visited Earth? I have not seen any evidence of that whatsoever, and nothing in any classified files or historic documentation would ever support that. I have to believe it is out there somewhere. I believe that if we are able to get to Mars and bring back samples from Mars, we will probably, with greater than 90% confidence, have some evidence of microbial life. Now, that is not the aliens we see in the movies, but it would be a proof point that there is life outside of Earth. I think it is inevitable, only a matter of time as more probes, more telescopes go out there and we venture out farther into the solar system, we will find that there is at least biosignatures outside of Earth.
Wow. So, and again, I think Burleson is calling this dude out.
Just the lying that goes on within these departments, NASA saying, "Oh, we don't have anything. We haven't studied this or whatever." And I've been in meetings with them where they've told me they've studied it. And so, and they have stuff that's classified that they can't share with the public. And so, yeah, I think it's a big cover up. I think there's too many directions that it's going. I spoke to the president about it the other morning, a little bit about it, about, just being forthcoming and bringing the stuff out. And the problem.
Now, what was interesting was Rep. Burleson commented underneath my post. He said, "From my experience, I can believe that NASA." So I put the whole thing Rep. Tim Burchett says NASA is lying when they say they have nothing on UFOs. NASA saying we don't have anything, we don't study this. I've been in meetings with them where they've told me they've studied it and they have stuff that's classified and they can't share it with the public. Rep. Burleson commented underneath, "From my experience, I can believe that NASA doesn't know anything on UAPs, UFOs. Why would the intelligence community tell NASA anything? Their mission is science. It isn't national security. They work and cooperate with foreign governments. There is no way they are trusted with critical intelligence." Interesting take. Kind of odd, no? I don't know. Like the video. Oh, yeah, Tuba, great mod. Everyone liked the video. How many likes do we have on YouTube right now? Let's see. We need to have at least 30. 27. We're 3 off. Come on, guys. Like the video. They've been airbrushing for ages. I mean, remember they had a whole press conference about UFO stuff 2 years ago. So I don't know. Maybe he's trying to play ball or something. Also, NASA is a space agency now. A lot of people were saying that, or an intelligence agency. Let me see.